A variety of specialized physical and behavioral adaptations have been required in order to survive in the Arctic, which is an unforgiving northern region where temperatures often drop below -30 degrees Celsius and the sea is frequently covered in sheets of ice. These adaptations, ranging from thick insulating coats to collective huddles, have been found to be necessary. Because the Arctic is connected to the continents of North America, Europe, and Asia, it has been possible for creatures that live on land to move there. This is in contrast to Antarctica, which is completely isolated from the rest of the world. Additionally, it has a larger land area and a greater number of plant species. As a consequence of this, the Arctic is home to a significantly greater number of species than its southern equivalent, particularly animals that consume plants on land. Number 10. Polar bear. It is impossible to compile a list of Arctic creatures that does not include this well-known carnivore. In point of fact, it is believed that the name of the region itself originates from the presence of these bears. The word Arctic originates from the Greek word arctikos, which simply means near the bear. Through their thick layer of fat tissue and their dense covering of white fur, which also allows them to blend in with their snowy surroundings, these enormous bears, which are the largest land carnivores in the world, are well adapted for temperatures that are below 0 degrees. As a result of their superior sense of smell and their ability to swim, polar bears are also exceptional hunters. They are able to hunt seals, which constitute the majority of their diet, through their excellent sense of smell. On the other hand, the biological niche that they occupy as dwellers of sea ice is extremely limited, which means that they are extremely vulnerable to the effects of variation in temperature. Number 9. Walrus. For example, the magnificently toothed walrus is one of the many types of marine mammals that may be discovered in the icy waters of the Arctic. Walruses, which are members of the pinnip group and also contain seals, have the potential to reach fairly substantial sizes. The only other species in this grouping that can surpass them in terms of size is the elephant seal. Over 2,000 kilograms is the maximum weight that a male walrus can reach. A significant portion of this is composed of a thick layer of blubber, which is useful given that the temperatures of the Arctic water are quite stable and hover just over the freezing point. Males can become exceedingly hostile with one another during mating season, using their tusks, which can be up to 1 meter long, against each other in order to retain territory and guard their harems of females. This is accomplished despite the fact that they are a highly gregarious species that lives in huge groups. Number 8. Lemming. Best known for a persistent myth that has characterized their migrating activity as mass suicide, lemmings are little rodents that can be found on and under the northern tundra. The majority of the time, lemmings are herbivores, meaning that they consume a variety of plants including lichens, grasses, berries, and mosses. Rather than hibernating throughout the winter months, they make their homes in extensive tunnel networks that are buried beneath the snow. At the same time as they keep them warm, these also defend them from any predators. These ingenious tunnels also provide spaces for toilets and resting, as well as nests that are constructed out of musk ox wool and feathers. In the same way that many other rodent species go through phases of boom and bust, lemming populations go through periods in which their numbers increase rapidly and then plummet to a low point. During periods of peak population, resources are already being stretched to their limits, which means that many people are forced to disperse and migrate to other pastures in big groups. This, in conjunction with the fact that they occasionally swim or fall into water while migrating, has contributed to the widespread belief that they commit suicide by jumping off of cliffs in large numbers. Number 7. Muskox. Musk oxes are extraordinarily huge hooved bovids that may be found mostly in Greenland and the Canadian Arctic. They stand approximately 5 feet tall at the shoulder to their fullest extent. The males exude a musky odor during the mating season in order to attract surrounding females who are interested in them, which is how they got their name. Ugly bison is the translation of their name in Woods Cree, which is an even less attractive pronunciation. In spite of the fact that they are classified under their own unique genus, ovibos, musk oxen are actually more closely related to sheep and goats than they are to oxen. This is even more surprising considering the name of the species. They have a multi-layered shaggy coat that is composed of long outside guard hairs and a shorter undercoat that provides additional insulation. This allows them to adapt quite well to the lower temperatures that are seen in the Arctic. Number 6. Arctic tern. This is the only species on our list that you will be able to see in the wild in the British Isles, as breeding colonies can be found in the summer in northern coastal areas, mainly Shetland and Orkney, and also on the Isle of Man and the islands off the coast of Wales and Gillespie. The ultimate long-distance migrants, and may also be called Antarctic terns because they travel around 19,000 miles annually to spend the winter in the Antarctic from their breeding grounds in the Arctic. Arctic terns see 2 summers a year and, as a result, more daylight than any other animal on Earth because of this enormous voyage. Number 5. Wolverine. Wolverines are the largest members of the mustelid family, which also includes badgers, weasels, and otters. They are primarily found in very northern coniferous woods, but they are sometimes occasionally seen further south into the USA, Russia, China, and northern Europe. These robust carnivores hunt with skill and tenacity, taking down prey that is often larger than themselves. But they are mostly scavengers, surviving nearly entirely on carrion during the harsh winter months. They will even steal carrion for themselves right under the noses of wolves and other predators. Maybe this explains why they have such a tough reputation. Number 4. Narwhal. In actuality, the narwhal is a toothed whale, despite having an appearance that may be described as made up, akin to a hybrid of a legendary unicorn and a dolphin. Its amazing tusk, which reaches up to 3 meters in length, is actually just one big canine tooth. This appendage, which is primarily seen on males in the species, serves as a sensory organ, a symbol of dominance, and an ornament rather than a weapon. With as many as 10 million nerve endings within, it can tell the animal everything about its surroundings, including the water's temperature, pressure, and particle content. It serves the same purpose of displaying their genetic merit to prospective mates as do the extravagant feathers of a male peacock. Number 3. Arctic fox. The cute yet obstinate polar fox is one of the most adored of all polar creatures. It may be found all throughout the Arctic tundra and has numerous adaptations that enable it to withstand the extremely high temperatures it encounters. The most notable of characteristics is its thick and fluffy fur coat, which is seasonal in nature, changing from a thinner gray in the summer to the recognizable thicker white in the winter, enabling the animal to blend in with its environment. Moreover, they are the only canid that has fur on the inside of its foot pads, like natural snowshoes. They cuddle up tight and wrap their fluffy tail over their body like a blanket to keep warm when they sleep. They eat almost anything little that they can find, including seabirds, lemmings, and seal pups. One of their favorite feeds is lemmings, therefore they frequently have to go to rather extreme measures to get them out of their burrows, jumping several feet into the air and nosediving into the snow to capture them, for example. Number 2. Greenland shark. The amazing honor of being the longest living vertebrate species in the world belongs to the next animal on our list. It is believed that this massive yet sluggish-growing shark can live an incredible 400 years. The lens of these sharks' eyes is radiocarbon dated in order to determine their age. With this technique, the oldest and largest specimen ever examined turned out to be at least 392 years old, with an estimated birth date of between 1504 and 1744. In spite of its name, Greenland sharks can be found not only in Greenland but also in the North Atlantic, Arctic, and, on occasion, even the Caribbean. Number 1. Snowy owl. You may see these recognizable owls swooping over the polar tundra. Snowy owls, especially in the summer, are also frequently active in hunting during the day, in contrast to most owls that hunt at night and sleep during the day. Similar to Arctic foxes, they mostly eat lemmings, and as a result, their population size is directly correlated with the erratic availability of these animals. Without an adequate supply of these burrow-dwelling mammals, they are unable to reproduce in large numbers. An adult snowy owl has been known to consume up to 1,600 lemmings annually. They do, however, supplement with other birds, rabbits, and fish when these are not available because they are opportunistic hunters. These owls are easily recognized by their huge yellow eyes, dark markings on their characteristic white plumage, and sizable bodies. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on this exploration of the incredible animals that call the Arctic home. But remember, the Arctic is facing some serious challenges like climate change and habitat loss. These amazing animals need our help to ensure they can continue to thrive in the frozen north. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more wildlife adventures.